Councilmember Liliana Bakhtiari, District 5.
Here.
Councilmember Alex Vaughn, District 6. Councilmember Thomas Worthy, District 7. Councilmember Mary Norwood, District 8.
Present.
Councilmember Dustin Hillis, District 9.
Present.
Councilmember Andrew L. Boone, District 10.
Present.
Councilmember Wayne Martin, District 11.
Present.
Councilmember Antonio Lewis, District 12.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Councilmember Collins is here. We have 13 present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda. So moved by Lewis, second by Bakhtiari. Please prepare the vote. Well, we can do this by unanimous consent. Madam Clerk, please sound the count for unanimous consent.
14 yeas, 0 nays.
14 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda has been adopted. So today our invocation has been delivered by Reverend Duncan Teague. How are you?
Good.
Of the Abundant Love Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. Welcome, Reverend Teague, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. I should be a little out of order and ask that the council take up some resolution on repairing downtown streets in as quickly as we can.
So moved and seconded by the president, and that's not even a thing.
Thank you. Thank you. I think God is already at work then. I want to thank the elected officials and aides of this esteemed Atlanta City Council. It's good to see friends like Alex Wong here. And especially your office, President Marcy Collier Overstreet. I like saying president and then another name behind it. Makes me feel good. And your staff and advisors and dear friends who have felt me worthy of this invitation to begin our work of the city. This is the city I've called home during most of my adult life. I'm honored in so many ways to be here at this point in our history, herstory, our story, as your chaplain of the day. President, I could not find my office for the chaplain of the day just in case somebody needs me, because we're in precarious times. I believe that I'm here before you with family and my husband of over 30-some years and my niece, Tasia. And also, I'm here with humility because of a powerful group, a humble group of faithful people at the Abundant Love Unitarian Universalist Congregation who allowed me to be their minister. And I'm grateful for that, immensely grateful. We're celebrating our 8 years of ministry together in the West End. If there were ever a moment when civic leaders and those of us called to lead with love, integrity, and faith are to work together in tandem, it is now. President Collier Overstreet, it's my desire, and I'm going to be a little prophetic here, that someday you will meet with the governor of our fine state and our mayor and those 3 well-deserving honorable women will have a discussion as has never taken place in time. May it be so someday. I already took care of that. My office is being prepared, I guess. And if you'll join me now for a moment of prayer, meditation, whatever you call it, or just a chance to hear from whatever is deep within you. Gracious Spirit of creation, whom some of us call by one name and others another. Spirit who has been with us as a father, and for others who has been a mother to those in need of a mother. We stop at this moment to say thank you first. Thank you that we honor the presence of a spirit more powerful than us, and yet one who reminds us of the power we hold to care for each other. Even in these difficult times, may we find within our hearts in this city that we are mostly proud of her gleaming towers of commerce and places of worship and work that span the multitude of faiths. We're grateful for our home in Atlanta, who has grown out of a time of horrendous racial oppression, segregation, bigotry, bias against people because of who they love and how they must express their gender. We're grateful that this city council represents some of the best we have done as a diverse municipality. Yet even today, in this time of prosperity for which we are grateful, an opportunity for so many of our residents, we are begging for forgiveness because we have allowed even one child to fear the cold or experience hunger or fear danger living among us. We ask for wisdom individually and collectively to cease any apathy or ignorance that will stand in the way of solutions in our modern capital of the South. Help us live out the legacies of the mighty and the international leaders born within blocks of where we sit right now. Bring us into an understanding of love that surpasses our divisions, our lost goals, our idolatry, and help us recognize the oneness of humanity. It is from the depths of our being that we beg to be transformed into healers and the housers and the redeemers of the lost and justice-seeking elected and appointed lovers of souls who've never felt loved. In our most humble desire, we beg you, Spirit, to heal the part of our broken hearts that will connect us one to each other. Connections intended for all creation, all souls, minds within your divine creation, and our city set beside endless lines of communication, commerce, and community. These are our most sincere prayers and concerns and hosannas of gratitude. Amen, Ashe, and so may it someday be. Amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend Teague, for those words. Thank you for blessing us today. And now we are going to move on to our Pledge of Allegiance. Could everyone please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance with me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now's the time that we will offer time for council members that may need condolences or any other remarks.
Thank you, Madam
Councilmember Bone.
President. I would like to offer condolences to the family of Alicia Dale Woodruff, who was an employee with the City of Atlanta Parks and Recreation Department for nearly 50 years, serving at Mosley Park. Thomasville Chastain, art teacher, a wonderful, wonderful Adamsville native, attended LP Miles Elementary, Charles Lincoln Harper, and CAU. Please pray for this family and all those that knew Mrs. Alicia Dale Woodruff. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Winston.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd also like to send my condolences to the family of Dr. Lauren Collins. She was Assistant Professor of Medicine, Division of Infectious Disease at Emory University. She was a family friend and a Grant Park resident who tragically passed away at the young age of 38. She leaves behind her husband, Matt, and their 2 children, Cedar and Zippy, who is also a good friend of my daughter. She also leaves behind her Emory University and Grady Memorial colleagues and the Punt Sitter patients, where she was one of the leading clinical doctors and researchers in the care of persons with HIV, where most of her focus was on the treatment of women of color. She will be deeply missed, and I ask that you keep her family, and especially her husband, who is now raising 2 young daughters, in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Lewis.
I would like to offer my condolences to the family of Miss Monica L. Melson. She's the daughter of Reverend Melson, pastor of Dodge Sterling United Methodist Baptist Church right in District 12. The entire Browns Mill Road and Pool Creek and Gilbert Garden is with you. Mr. Melson and the entire Jonesboro Road. Thank you again.
Thank you, Councilmember Lewis. Councilmember Collins.
Yes, just want to take the opportunity to honor and recognize the amazing life of Dr. Gloria Wade Gales. She was a renowned professor at Spelman College. I had the opportunity to take her as a bright freshman at Spelman. She passed away recently, and her son, Dr. Jonathan Gales, who's chair of the African American Studies Department at Georgia State, a very vocal activist and very involved community member as well, wanted to share our thoughts and condolences to him and his family, but honoring the great life of a great scholar and dear sister, Dr. Gloria Wade Gales.
Thank you, Councilmember Collins. Councilmember Martin.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. We would like to extend condolences to our own Daniel Bishop, who is a photographer and videographer here on our council staff, and the death of his grandmother on yesterday. Please pray for her and let that family be in our thoughts. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, council members. Anyone else? Let's take a moment of silence for everyone mentioned and those not mentioned that you may have on your hearts today. Okay, thank you. Moving on now, we are at proclamations, commendations, and other special awards. We have one in honor of Love Your Park Month. Councilmember Westmoreland, please come forward, and anyone here for the celebration of Love Your Park Month, please come to the dais.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matt Westmoreland. I am standing at this podium this afternoon in my capacity as chair of the Community Development Human Services Committee to recognize February 2026 as Love Your Park Month. And I was thinking a little bit about what that has meant in this room over the last few years, and my mind took me back to 2021 when this body increased impact fees for park facilities for the first time in a generation, to the hundreds of millions of dollars we invested in the Moving Atlanta Forward bond in parks and recreation facilities, and the $2 million we set aside for the Community Park Fund back in 2021. A little more recently, in February of 23, a number of people on this dais contributed $2 million from your discretionary buckets to Park Pride for parks all around the city. In June of 23, this body doubled the amount of money we spend every year on park maintenance. And most recently, this past summer, we passed the first Trails Master Plan in a generation to help connect Atlantans to each other, and through that, our parks as well. There are a number of folks standing here behind me today. They are from the Department of Parks and Recreation, they're from Park Pride, they're from Hands On Atlanta, they're from Trees Atlanta, and that is because over the next month, there are 33 opportunities for Atlanta residents to come love your park and to engage in volunteer activities in spaces and places that we all know and love in our districts and all across Atlanta. And so with that, I'm going to hand this proclamation to our Commissioner for the Departments of Park and Recreation as the members of the Atlanta City Council proclaim February 2026 as Love Your Park Month in our great city, and that during this month we encourage all Atlantans, from individuals and families to neighborhood groups, schools, nonprofits, businesses, and community organizations, to join in volunteer efforts, adopt a park programs, cleanup events, tree plantings, maintenance activities, and other stewardship initiatives in support of Love Your Park. So thank you all very much for being here.
Well, good afternoon. Justin Cutler, Commissioner for the Atlanta Department of Parks and Recreation. And we are excited to be here at Atlanta City Council to celebrate Love Your Park Month. And let's give credit where credit's due. The mayor developed this Green Space Advisory Council and challenged the team to say, hey, how can you invite more people to be part of the group project? And together with the mayor's Green Space Advisory Council, Park Pride, Hands On Atlanta, and all the friends and conservancy groups that you see here beside and behind and next to me, we created the Love Your Park Month. This is our third year, so we're super excited about this. And thank you to our mayor for his leadership and challenge us to all be a part of the mayor's group project. Now in its third year, this initiative brings together residents, neighbors, and friends groups to care for parks and green spaces that serve the heart of our neighborhoods. This year, Love Your Park includes in every city council district with the goal of engaging over 1,000 volunteers and hands-on stewardship activities throughout the month. Together, these projects help keep parks welcoming, vibrant, accessible, and safe for all Atlantans. We invite all members of City Council to join us in their districts during Love Your Park Month and see firsthand the impact of volunteers working alongside community partners. Thank you to our friends at Park Pride and the many friends and neighborhood groups you see behind me and their leadership for making the citywide effort possible. We have over 33 projects this month, which is truly amazing. If you're interested in volunteering, head over to Park Pride's website at parkpride.org to sign up. Thank you, and let's have a great month.
I want to acknowledge to the council president that we're clocking in at 3 minutes and 42 seconds at this proclamation presentation. Any of my colleagues want to say anything before? All right, Councilmember Boone.
Thank you all so much, and we are looking forward to February 28th at Wilson Mill Park, located at 300 Adamsville Drive. So come on out to Wilson Mill Park. Thank you all so much for all you all do. Our parks are truly, truly beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Boone. I'm glad to know the recruitment has started this early. And I just wanted to take a minute because I wanted to thank Commissioner and his teams as well as Michael Halicki and Park Pride. I was lucky enough my first year to give $1 million donation to Park Pride in partnership with City of Atlanta Department of Parks and Rec. And as a result, every District 5 park has had, almost every single one of our parks has had a major upgrade and turned into massive community spaces, as well as just mutual aid centers for the community to come together and find out what each other needs. So that never would have happened without these initiatives, without partners like you all, and I'm just immensely grateful because green space is everything. It is a connecting point. It is what's vitally needed. And I'm just very honored to be able to support the mission. And I just want to thank you all for how inclusive you've been with the community and the level of engagement there's been. Because I know if there hadn't been, I would have been hearing about it nonstop. So I just really want to thank you all. Thank you so much.
First of all, congratulations to you, Commissioner, as well as you, Michael. We had a great breakfast not long ago. I want to invite everybody out to the District 11 Love Your Park cleanup that's going to be happening on Saturday, February 21st. We'll be celebrating our council president and our post 3 at large council members' birthdays out there. So join us. I think the council president is on the 21st, and our post 3 at large council member Collins is on the 20th. Great opportunity for us to come. We'll be at the Cascade Springs Nature Preserve. It's going to be a great time. Thank you all. Congrats again.
So congratulations again to Love Your Park Month. And not to be outdone, I want to invite you out to the District 12 events, but with the caveat, last year I was able to go to 3. And I was able to visit 3, so not to even say a date, Adair Park, Empire Park, name the rest of them. But I will be at all of the locations in District 12 on those dates and throughout this month. So thank you again.
Thank you.
What was the name of the place? I sent y'all the other day. You know it's Monday. Yeah. I gotta take love. I don't never know the name. I just be going to 8 big 8. She need gum?
Do you want it separately printed? I'll have it printed separate.
I just don't want.
It's annoying. Yeah.
Okay, as we transition, we've now reached the portion of the remarks from the public. So we will now hear from the public. Each speaker will receive 2 minutes. I've also printed out the code just to remind everyone of how we're operating via our code. And I've left those over there at the podium or right next to it. I'm not sure exactly where, but just in case you want to take some with you. But each speaker will have 2 minutes for a maximum of 10 minutes due to donated time pursuant to our city code. The speakers that receive the donated time will be placed at the end of our public comment portion, and just want to make sure everyone knows where you are on the list so that we can have at least 3 show up at one time. The speakers for come forward at one time. The first three speakers, Maggie McCullum, Henri Jordan, and Bernie Bradley. Maggie McCullum, you have 2 minutes. Sorry, just a second. We'll restart this. Your speaker's on now.
It don't sound like it's on.
Y'all really want to hear this today, right? Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year. My name is Maggie McCullum. Support for Atlanta seniors. My mission is promote of healthy lifestyles through fun, friendly sports, athletic competition for health, fitness, and wellness for active individuals 50 plus. My vision, the Atlanta to host the 2031 National Senior Games and have at least 2,000 Georgians to participate. My appeal, in my quest to help bring the National Senior Games to Atlanta and increase the number of active participants in all senior centers. I currently work out at Bessie Branham Park. My coach is O'Kane Sutherland. As a result, he now trains the Golden Girls 2 times a week to strengthen their bones and muscles. This prevents seniors from falling. We would like to expand, bring more seniors from around the area. We need equipment, updated weight room, bocce, shuffleboard, tai chi, yoga, and pilot, just to name a few. I am asking for your assistance to help me help others stay and have an enjoyable life ahead. You all have hear this appeal in your emails. How many can I count on to make this a reality? You in Job 22:28, you will succeed in whatever you choose to do, and light will shine on the road ahead of you. You will cry, not because someone hurt me, but because God has answered my prayers. I want God to answer all these prayers. And for the parks, I need Kempson Park Recreation to be a part. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCullum. Henri Jordan, you have 2 minutes.
Give honor to the Spirit of God, everyone that's here. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Proverbs 1st chapter 7 verse. The fear of the Lord means submission to the Lord and his instructions. And go not after gods to serve, and go not after gods to serve them and to worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the work of your hands. And I will do you no hurt. Jeremiah 25th chapter 6 verse. God has warned us not to put nothing before him. If you find out the money Jesus created through me is for your protection, you ask to kill yourselves. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience in the faith of the saints. Revelation 13, chapter 10 verse. If you lead anyone into bondage or captivity, you shall go into bondage. If you kill with the law or the sword, then ye will be killed with the law. You are asking for this rulership over yourselves. And said unto them, it is written, my house shall be called the house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. Matthew 2nd chapter 13 verse. A similar cleansing is recorded at the beginning of Jesus' ministry, indicating his disdain for the corruption of organized religion, which lack purity of life and the power of God. I seek to purchase properties because Jesus revealed to me, any bomb or rocket the enemy, like China, sent to it will go back to them. Every property will not have this power. We want this power in us. Christ's power to obey him and disobey our flesh. Flesh reaps death and not life. We're not bigger than Jesus.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Bernie Bradley, you have 2 minutes.
And good afternoon to my council representative, Ms. Andre Boone. Her mother taught me in 1958 at Washington High School. And Michael Julian Bond, his uncle, James Bond, was one of the first black aldermen back in the 60s and the 70s. But I'd like to thank the people of Atlanta who sent condolences to our church, Basilica of Sacred Heart of Jesus Christ. Our pastor, Father John Thomas Harwin, went on vacation, and he passed away before he could get back with the flu. And so we had his funeral just a week ago. We got a lot of condolences from people around the city, so I'd like to say thank you for that. He also was able to do a renovation of the church. Took him 3 years, but with $200 million, he was able to redo Sacred Heart Church. And some of you would get a chance to come down and see the beautiful, beautiful work that he had done. So we thank God sent him there to do that mission to get the church finished, and they just dedicated it back in October. Also, I'm a little bit disturbed that 5 Points has doubled as a name for Lonnie King. Lonnie King, many of you may not know, but he was the one that successfully integrated the schools, or worked to integrate the schools back in 1961. And he also was a signature to the document, the Atlanta document and the human rights document. He, Julian Bond, Dr. Rosalind Pope. And this guy, Lonnie King, was a member of Ebenezer Baptist Church, but he wasn't related to the King family, but he worked hard to get the integration of the schools done. And so I think they should consider moving the designated 5 Points.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Your time is up.
Okay, and move it to some other place. He deserves better than that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next three speakers, Shamyala Haroon, Owusu Hodori, and Veronica Graham.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shamyla Haroon. I'm speaking on behalf of my friend, and I don't really do this, but I had to because if it happened to me, he would be right up here today. He didn't deserve to be shot 17 times in his back. If it was any of y'all kids, y'all would feel how I feel. Or any of your brother, your sister, anybody. And I don't think it's right for Mr. Walker to still be in his position. And he's done this to somebody else as well. He's been disciplined multiple times. It's not fair, it's not right for him to be serving in that kind of capacity as a civil servant. As a public servant, I mean. And it's just been really hard. I think about B every day. I think about Linton Blackwell every day. I just don't speak on it all the time because I know some people, some of my friends, maybe family members, they're tired of hearing it every day, but that's not something you could just get over like that. He would have been 45 years old, December 27th, just about 2 months ago. He got two little girls that deserve to have their father to take them to prom. I just hope you guys do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Owusu Hodori. 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. I'm speaking again concerning our situation that Sloan Circle has the fact of the matter of not being able to receive any kind of earth-moving equipment or curbs, gutters, sidewalks, anything in a location about 10 minutes from this building. And it has been under that type of condition for a very long time. I am making progress in District 1 and speaking directly to my council member about that. We're making progress with that, but we are getting some kickback from various agencies in the Department of Sanitation that basically have told us to stop calling about the truck not stopping by to pick up our trash that we pay for every month. Stop calling because they understand that it's not being picked up. But the fact of the matter is, it's not being picked up and it's being paid for every month to be picked up. And unless we call, even though we've been told don't call anymore, but the only reason we're calling is because they're not picking it up. So if they would pick it up, then they could solve that dilemma and not worry about us calling anymore. So I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to that again. I look forward to the next meeting where we can continually speak about this and hopefully we can resolve some of these matters.
Thank you, Mr. Hadari. Next is Veronica Graham. You have 2 minutes.
Hello, I'm not sure if anybody and everybody paying attention because y'all are doing a lot of moving or who this may go to, but I want to understand why this officer, Gerald Walker, has not been held accountable for my brother's death. He was murdered and shot 17 times. He's still working, being paid. I'm not understanding if you guys have children or anybody up there, if it was to happen to y'all, how come it's not on the news? How come it's not being broadcast? The autopsy report even reveals this and nobody is holding them accountable. APD still is funding this officer as well. He didn't deserve this at all. I'm standing up here to say this my good side, my nice side, because I'm pretty sure y'all wouldn't feel this same type of way if this was one of y'all relatives up here. But I'm just asking y'all to put, more knowledge on this as well and bring light into why is these officers still being able to hold a job. You're not giving any of us answers at all, putting the footage out there as to why an officer can be able to murder someone and get away with it. So I'm standing here on behalf of Linton Blackwell, my brother, and I want y'all to continue to remember his name because we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to bring this awareness to you guys until something is done. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Graham. Our next 3 speakers, Brandon Pink, Jody WMS. You two can come forward. And then that will take us to our yielded time speakers. The first one in that order will be DeJuan Robertson with 10 minutes. But now, Mr. Pink, you have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Pink. I'm a community organizer with the Atlanta Alliance Against Racism and Political Repression. I'm here today in solidarity with the family of Linton Blackwell to demand accountability and transparency and justice for Linton Blackwell. On October 11th, 2025, Linton was shot in the back 17 times by off-duty APD officer Gerald Walker. 114 days later, and the community still doesn't have any answers. Why was an unarmed Black man shot in the back 17 times? It was a failure by APD to allow this officer to continue to be on the force even after the multiple violations and misconduct issues that he had. The shooting that took Linton's life may have been avoided if those in power who were tasked with protecting and serving the community upheld their oaths and did their jobs and suspended Gerald Walker when he had these multiple body cam violations. In Atlanta, we have seen a continued pattern of violence against Black people by the police. Linton Blackwell is just one of the few names. Osiris Bennett, Deacon Johnny Holloman, Jimmy Atchison, the list goes on. In a city dubbed the Black Mecca, because of its makeup, history, and culture, and Black leadership. The very same people that built this city and built the culture, the Black working class, are still subjected to these violent, racist attacks by the police. Linton was a father, a brother, a son, a beloved community member, and his killing was unjustifiable. We are demanding for an end to police terror in Atlanta. We are calling for City Council and all elected city officials to do all that they can to ensure the safety of their constituents, the members of my community, against police violence. And we are demanding the imprisonment of murderous cops like Officer Gerald Walker so that they are no longer a threat to our communities and that they are not given special treatment just because they have a badge.
Thank you, Mr. Pink.
And we are
Your time
demanding
is up.
transparency in this case and investigation, and we are demanding justice for Linton Blackwell, and you will continue to see us, this family,
Mr.
and the
Pink, your
community
time is
members
up.
until justice is served. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Ms. Jody Williams, or WMS. You have 2 minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First, giving honor to God. I am reaching out to the mayor. God has given him another term to get it right for his people. I have visited the warming shelters, different churches and organizations that helps to support the unhoused. I am seeing more and more of our women and children, so many children, unhoused at these shelters and warming centers and organizations that reach out to give them help. This is addressed to the mayor. You have another term. I hope you stop giving the monies that are sent down for the homeless to investors. Build a 21-story building and put those people in that building, and the people who were unhoused from the housing projects who are still out here looking for housing, you can put them in there. You've gotten enough money to build something for these people, and stop giving them false hope, telling them to come to 2 Peachtree Street, your one-stop shop, when it's not that. So do right by the people. That's all I have to say. Mother Bree Love wanted to give you guys her love, and she wasn't able to make it, and you guys pray for her because she has a broken leg, so.
Thank you, Ms. Jody. Our next speaker is DeJuan Robertson. You have 10 minutes. You are yielded time by Latanya Gates, Lorenzia Lewis, Samantha Watkins, Meredith Rabales. Are they all here?
2 of them here. The other one left because everybody didn't know the new rules you implemented. So it's kind of hard for people to pay for parking. That's to donate time. But so most of them left, but I still got 2 here.
Okay, so we'll give you 8 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my first message, let me start off to the general public, because I came down here to talk about 2 issues today, but that so happened that I had an opportunity to speak with some people in the administration and found out that the information was not all the way accurate. So oftentimes when people give me stuff to speak on them, I've learned now, because I had to come before this full council and make apologies from people that I said did things that they didn't do that wasn't always 100% accurate. So today I was supposed to come out here to speak on a few things, but it wasn't factual. So for the general public that's watching, we have to learn to make sure that we're not operating off emotions and unfactual things, because we are dealing with people's livelihoods and their jobs, and we want council to be fair, so we have to make sure that the information is factual and that we are meeting with the appropriate people to try to get a reasonable resolution. Second, I stand with the family. I didn't know that this brother was shot 17 times. I missed that. And this is something that we can't let go by, you guys. I mean, we dealt with Deacon Holloman like we still dealing with my friend Jimmy, who lost his son Jimmy Atchison in a closet where a cop shot him. Like I always say, nobody's above reproach. We can't have APD, Ms. Boone, you're over on public safety. We cannot have this where we are in a city where we are letting black men get shot 17 times in the back. Like, come on, man, like we can't do that. Like, we want to say we love Atlanta, we stand for Atlanta, but we allowing black men to be shot by APD 17 times in the back. So I always like to say this, and I remember this so vividly because I had an uncle who's on the police force. So there was a time, Mr. President, that you couldn't even arrest, you was a black cop, you couldn't even arrest a white citizen. And you had to go get dressed at the YMCA, Mr. Antonio Lewis and Mr. Wayne Martin, if you was a black cop, right? I remember Mayor Kasim Reed told me when he hired me that he made it very clear that not one black citizen will be killed while he mayor. I don't think we had one black male shot by APD in those 8 years when Kasim was mayor. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that we can get those stats. But he was very adamant about that. And we gotta stand strong on that, man. Like we do, like we are more concerned about everybody else outside of Atlanta, but not about black men and women, you know what I'm saying, they're getting shot and mistreated by black police. I was the first citizen to graduate from the Atlanta citizen class, and I stand proud on that. So I'm with community and police, but not to the point where, you know what I'm saying, police are killing them. You know what I'm saying, that's me. So if you say you love me, Antonio, if I was killed, would you raise hell about me? I need you to raise hell about everybody else too, brother, because we all in that same pot, man. We are all the same. The police mistreated you at one point, and when you ran your race death, now they went against you, and you still beat them. We can stand for community and police because we don't want that police officer to feel like he or she can't go home to their loved one, but we damn sure want to go home to our loved one as well. So it's a give and take, man. Since my last meeting, I had a chance to look you up, Mr. Thomas Word and Ms. Kelsey Bond. Ms. Bond, I would like to have a meeting with you. I like some things about you. I love how progressive you are. And you know, some want to say you a socialist, right? I'm sure you heard that. But all I just ask for you, Ms. Bond, is whatever social things that you care about, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that we add some black issues in there that we caring about, you know what I'm saying, black issues that we're, because like I always say, Atlanta is better when black and white are getting along and standing together. So I just hope that you're willing to listen to some of the black issues that we're having on this side of town, the west side and south side of town, like my brother who was shot 17 times in the back, because council can do something about it. You guys want to say that you're not involved when it comes to the welfare of employment. I understand that may not be under your umbrella, but you guys have the power, and we have to exercise that. When we're running for office, there are so many things that we say we're gonna do, and we can change, but when we get here, you say it's not under, you know what I'm saying, your privy to do it, and we cannot allow that. So when we say the Atlanta way, I think it means so much to so many people, but we gotta think about those who made Atlanta so beautiful with the 30% minority participation. Maynard was not from Atlanta, but he gave a damn about Atlanta to the point where he chained himself up and said, this runway will not be built at Atlanta Hartsfield. You don't think we can find some black folks to post some concrete? You crazy, let me show you. He stood on that. Stood on it so much to the point that when he left the mayor's seat, Miss Marcy Overstreet, he couldn't find a job in Atlanta because he had helped black folks obtain wealth. And them same greedy, scary Negroes turned their back on him and didn't help him out, right? So it's all good when you empower Mr. Wayne Martin. Everybody loves you, but the minute you leave, you know what I'm saying, you love Maynard just as much as any of us, and you know the story. You know he died of a heartbreak that led to a heart attack because black folks turned their back on who he made rich in this city. And that is not the Atlanta way, to turn your back on people. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Everything that goes on, you know I hear about it. So when I don't speak to it, Mr. Matt Westmoreland, Miss Ishay Collins, that's me being loyal to the situation. If I don't come down here and speak on it, I hear about it. I know about it. So let's just appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to bring solutions to the table. I don't want to come down here pointing fingers and calling people out. I want to bring solutions to the table. Mr. Worthy, you've been known as being a fair man. And I met you a time or two, and you always say, hey, man, if there's anything I can help you with. And I just hope that you continue to just be fair, man. You know what I'm saying? I understand the seat that you sit in, but I just hope you continue to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Shook didn't engage in many things, but he was fair. You know what I'm saying? He heard the people out. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he voiced his opinion back there. And when things didn't smell right, he spoke on it and made sure that, you know what I'm saying, that his colleagues heard him and stood firm on what he wanted to speak on. And that's all I ask, man. And Mr. Faroki was the same way, Ms. Bond. Very smooth guy, you know what I'm saying, came from good stock with his father. And I just expect, you know what I'm saying, us to understand that black folks are being mistreated in this city. And for me, I'll be 49 in June. Since I've been alive, we had a black mayor, majority of black council, black police chief, black fire chief. I can't say white folks did this to me in Atlanta. I went to Harvard Brooks Academy, Bunch Middle School, and Douglas High. I didn't go to school with white folks. I didn't have white teachers. I didn't have a white doctor, white dentist, white pharmacist. Everything that I know is black. I went to an HBCU. So for me, white folks have never stood in my way and told me no. They have always been somebody who looked like me, and that's the issue. And we got to do something about that because we can. You know what I'm saying? We have a black mayor and a black staff that I think is committed, you know what I'm saying, to helping everybody in Atlanta. But we also need the help of council and everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. I've just been alerted that I need to backtrack to 4 more 2-minute speakers, and I will do that. We'll start with Marjorie. It's Marjorie. It's not on here, right? Marjorie McLeod, Michael Collins, Paul Schwarcord, and Santana Lampert. So you all can come forward. Ms. McLeod, you have 2 minutes.
That's all I need, 2 minutes.
Okay.
That's all I need is 2 minutes. Hey, the solution, what I'm here is for, I wish we need a daycare. And how about we have a daycare right here in the city of Atlanta? Let's make a difference because your people coming to work, they looking sad. So just imagine you have a daycare, but Mayor, I'm talking to you. Yes, this is your second time running, you're in, but all that money you have, why we cannot put a daycare here in the city of Atlanta? Can we do that? Let's do a survey. Because they just imagine coming to work and your child is coming from 6 weeks to 3 years old. You don't think that's a good idea? We need to do a survey. Ask your employee, do they want a daycare here? You got a gym here, so why can't they have daycare? We could do this. We could do this. And people be happy because when I was in the military, they look out for us. We had a daycare. Any government, doesn't the RS got a daycare in their building? We put everything else, but why we can't put a daycare? We could do this. We need this. That's all, that's why I came here. And that's the solution, Mayor. Let's do it. You here? So you got that 95 billion tab money. Let's use it to have the daycare right here in the city of Atlanta. In City Hall. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Ms. McLeod. Mr. Collins, you have 2 minutes.
Great. Hi, everybody. Michael Collins from Playfair ATL, your favorite Scottish person, visiting again. We are an Atlanta-based coalition ensuring that the World Cup upholds labor, housing, human rights. You know, when I email council members, I always say from your Scottish friend, because who doesn't want to meet with their Scottish friend? We've had some fantastic meetings with Jason Winston, Kelsey Bond, so many other people. I really appreciate that. And the World Cup is coming fast, so if you haven't met with me yet, you're missing out, and you got to meet with me and our wonderful coalition of civil rights organizations. The World Cup is just around the corner, and we're very appreciative of Councilmember Dozier for introducing a resolution that supports our platform that's focused on housing and human rights and criminal justice and labour. We know that immigration is a big issue as the World Cup approaches. We have a meeting tomorrow with the Mayor's Immigration Office. We just want to make sure that a plan is in place to protect the people in our community as the World Cup approaches. We know that ICE is doing dreadful things across the country. We want to make sure that it doesn't happen here in Atlanta. We're also very supportive of using the additional revenue that's coming from the World Cup to help housing, help the unhoused in our community. We've spoken with members about creating an office of the tenant advocacy. That's something I think that we would like to see done with the revenue. But yeah, we're very excited to meet with council members, talk about our policy platform, talk about our priorities. So if you haven't reached out yet or responded to my emails, you haven't hurt me, I'm not upset. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Next up is Paul, S-W-I-C-O-R-D. I'm not sure if that's spelled correct. It is. Is that Swycard?
Swycard.
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I want to talk about the process of transparency and trust, not about a specific case. Atlanta has a zoning process with checks and balances for a reason. Neighborhood planning units, the city planning staff, and then the zoning review board all review a case. Each one exists to protect the residents, the council, and these groups do agree that really matters. It shows that progress is working. It shows that careful review have gone through both the community and professional review. When the council votes to override these 3 independent bodies, that should be a red flag. 3 bodies have investigated, researched an issue at depth. One must ask, what is the motivation for the superior knowledge that the council has that prompts this override? Do you have the answers? If not, a motion to defer may be the appropriate motion today. Until you have the real answers, overriding 3 independent bodies is a red flag. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up, Santana Lambert. You have 2 minutes.
My name is Santana Lambert. I want to look at all y'all and ask y'all, have y'all ever had to wake somebody up in the middle of the night and tell them that their family member is dead? That's what I had to do on October the 12th when Linton Blackwell was killed. I had the task of telling his sister that he had been killed. I had the task of picking his sister up off the floor after she had passed out. Now let me tell you something about myself and Linton Blackwell. We grew up in Eastlake Meadows. When 100 Black Men of Atlanta first started in Atlanta, we were some of the first kids that was helped by the 100 Black Men. Me, I'm a first-time voter the last 2 elections, and I voted for some of y'all because I feel that Atlanta need to change, and the first thing we need to change is we got to stop the killing. And not just the community killing each other, we got to stop the police from killing us. We got to stop the police from harming our citizens of Atlanta. Not just the kids. They harming the adults. They harming, get what? Y'all see what's going on with ICE? We got to let the world know that Atlanta ain't going to allow law enforcement, nobody, to kill our citizens. I voted. I ain't never gave a damn about voting in my life. But y'all been telling me that my vote count. Show me my motherfucking vote count, man, please. That's all I ask. Just please show me that my vote count. I'm 46 years old. I've only voted the last 2 elections because I believed in, especially you. I believed in you, homie. And I'm gonna ask you, please, y'all do something about my brother. Man, that man didn't deserve that. That man clamped his way out of East Lake Meadows through your history. And man, we just want some change in Atlanta, man. We just want the best for our city. We deserve it. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Lambert. We're going to move back to our donated time, and we will start with Tori Sumlin. You will have 6 minutes. Following Mr. Sumlin is Don Evans. You have 4 minutes. Mr. Sumlin, is Deborah Boyce, Travis Walker, and Ray Jones here?
Ray?
Actually, Deborah Boyce,
Deborah's
Ray
right here.
Jones, and
Ray go.
yes, thank you. 6 minutes.
Good afternoon, Council. I'm going to read a statement that I wrote. I want to speak to you as I represent MPUG. I serve as a chairperson for MPUG. This is my 3rd term. So I want to speak to you about an issue with mold that we deal with a few of our complexes within MPUG, but this applies to the entire city of Atlanta. We know this, council persons. I'm sure your offices have had calls. I'm sure you all have had people to reach out to you all in person. So I'm going to read something that I made some notes on so that I don't forget. First, I'm going to thank the council for your leadership in passing the original legislation that made the visual mold a violation. It was bold, it was necessary. It showed you understand the urgent connection between public health and housing. But we know that legislation without action changes nothing. That's why I'm here today urging you to bring legislation 26101005, which is currently being held in Public Safety Committee, forward for a full vote so it can finally advance to full council. Because the reality on the ground is code enforcement does not take it as seriously as they should. They're not going to act unless they are compelled to do so. At last week's Public Safety Committee meeting, code enforcement claimed they had acquired necessary contractors to provide services related to mold. They didn't provide any numbers, no data, how many units had been tested, no proof of any type of meaningful enforcement. There's a reason for that. Almost none of the visual mold complaints filed through ATL 311 resulted in any type of testing. Even fewer ended up as actual cases pursued by the solicitor's office, and I know that because I had a meeting with them just a few weeks ago. If you ask code enforcement for their numbers directly, they can confirm they've referred little to no cases to the solicitor's office for prosecution. Meantime, we have residents across the city of Atlanta that are in sufferance. Woodland Heights, that's one apartment complex. Everybody knows it to be at the Ridge from a long time ago. A tenant recently shared some professional labs results with me. They weren't borderline. They were actually quite devastating. Here's what the test results showed for her unit, which was C120. The total spore count, 776,171. The safe guideline is under 2,500. Aspergillus penicillium. The count from the test was 688,533. The guideline is under 500. Background particulate, 740,413, when it should be under 100,000. And the humidity level in that unit was about 77%. That's almost double the level at which mold growth is supposed to stop. What makes this even worse is that some of the Woodland Heights units already have active code enforcement cases. Code enforcement never tested these units at all, despite the severity of the conditions. We also know code enforcement doesn't have, first of all, the training, nor do they have the equipment to perform the tests, which is why the legislation needs to be moved forward and voted on by full council. We're not talking about hypotheticals. We're talking about real families, real children, real health risks. Councilmembers Amos, Councilmember Dozier, Councilmember Lewis, Hillis, Boone, Winston, and Martin. Each of you have apartment complexes within your districts. Some of these people are experiencing this. I know you've all been working hard to address these issues, and I acknowledge the work that you've done. But I urge you to disregard any attempts that code enforcement is actually doing enough. They could do a lot more. They need the support of the council to fund the necessary training that they need and to pay for the necessary testing. The city of Atlanta doesn't have a lab for them to test, but there are outside companies that do. The city of South Fulton, call them up and ask. When you call the city of South Fulton, ask for the mold unit. I have a friend of mine that works over in code enforcement in the city of South Fulton. That's how I know. They actually have trained the officers to go out to take those tests and send them to those labs that are certified to test and bring those results back so that those results stand up in the court. Looking at Fairmont Gorgeous Apartments, code enforcement has been on that property on and off for years, responding to complaints. Councilmember Boone is aware of that one. That's in her district. This has to change. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Summerlin. Our next speaker is Don Evans. Mr. Evans, you have 4 minutes. Is Toivo here in attendance? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Don Evans, and I stand here for my brother, Linton Blackwell. I want to, first of all, thank all y'all for y'all signatures on the last paperwork that we got from you all. And I truly appreciate that. It means a lot. It really means a lot. Right now, I'm standing here and asking you all to help me, help my family to get Mr. Walker off the streets. I've done so much, I have barely slept. I'm fighting every day. My niece is going through it. Kids picking at them, talking about their dad. They just got expelled from school because kids saying things to them, talking about things that grown folks will take in their hands. Ain't nobody gonna sit up and talk about they gonna piss on nobody's grave. And this coming from kids, and they taunting them, and I'm working with that. But Mr. Walker has been an animal out here. I did so much. I reached out to Mr. Walker, which is Mr. Travis Walker. He shot this man many of times, shot him last March. Mr. Walker, stand up. I brought him down here. I went and found this man because if Mr. Walker would have been held accountable for his incident, his shooting, he wouldn't have been working that night. He wouldn't have had the opportunity to shoot my brother in his back 17 times. He wouldn't have been able to been there on the scene. But yet he's still free. And it bothers me. It bothers me. I barely can sleep. It bothers me. For where I come from, the life I lived, it comes to me. It comes to me. But by me being who I am today, standing here in front of y'all as a man, kids, grandkids, a family, a loving family, I'm a different person. And I ask you all to take in consideration and help. Like the mayor, I reached out to everybody. I've been in folks' DMs. I don't get no response. I know ain't nobody gonna respond because, that's how they operate, but the response will be to get him off the streets. I can breathe in. I think I can breathe in because I really feel trapped right now. I don't trust nobody. I've been like that for a minute, but for this man to continuously be moving around, I don't know if he'll pull up on me just because he been seeing us, want him off the street or whatever. But I know it's not gonna happen, but can y'all please help my family? help my nieces stop going through all this hurt and pain, knowing that this man is still out here. Like I told y'all last time, they go places, but they're afraid. I'm their police. I'm their police. They gonna call me. If they don't call me, I got a big old protector back there. I got a big one. He'll raise a lot of hell, but I don't indulge in that. I do not indulge in that. I do not. But for what happened to my brother, I need some justice, please. Can I get some justice for me and my family? And I really, truly think that you all, I know you all can do it. And I believe in you all. I say I can believe in you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Our next speaker is Jimmy Hill. Mr. Hill, you have 6 minutes. Is Sarah Watkins and Travis Walker here? Okay, thank you. 6 minutes.
No matter what I'm going through, God is still good. And my faith and trust gonna continue to remain in God. I'm Jimmy Hill. I'm the father of Jimmy Atchison. Still the father of Jimmy Atchison, but today I come standing in the gap for my cousin, Lynn Blackwell, who was shot 17 times in the back. How do you justify that? You know, police kill, they hide behind their badges, and they lie while we continue to die. You know, the first story isn't the whole story, but the story that everyone remembers. Story of lies. Police set the narrative, the media spreads the narrative, and families like my family, the family of Lyndon Blackwell, we suffer and struggle physically, mentally, emotionally, while trying to set the record straight of the lies that have been told that took on the minutes to write. You know, there comes a time when one must take a position that is not straight, not politic, nor popular, but he must take it because his conscience tells him that it is right. What I'm trying to figure out is why, what has your conscience told you when it comes to Lynn Blackwell, who was shot 17 times in the back? How you justify that? Why is this officer still on the force? Why hasn't he been fired? Why hasn't he been held accountable? Atlanta police officer Gerald Walker, who shot Lyndon Blackwell 17 times in the back, disciplinary shows that of January 2026, he has 11 total work rule violations filed against him. Through 2024 and 2025, Attorney Affairs has closed 7 investigations and sustained 6 other allegations against Walker related to body worn cameras and arrest procedures. As of January 2026, there are 4 open allegations where Walker is listed as involved. According to the disciplinary history, the allegations include maltreatment or unnecessary force, failure to conform to search and seizure product, and 2 for misuse of firearm. Yes, as of January, I'm gonna say it one more time, as of January 2026, the Atlanta police officer who shot my family, Lyndon Blackwell, 17 times in the back, had 11 documented work rule violations. Attorney Affairs sustained 6 allegations against him, including violations related to body worn cameras and arrest procedures. 4 additional allegations remain open. His disciplinary record includes maltreatment or unnecessary force, failure to follow search and seizure procedures, and 2 violations for misuse of firearms. So I ask you this. If you think this is unacceptable, why haven't you used your power to stop officers with repeat violations from staying on the force? You have that power, and you haven't used it. You refuse to use it until you do. Your condolences are really just to make yourselves feel better, because it ain't doing that for us. It's not doing that for the community. Atlanta City Council is the lawmaking and policy-making body of this city. You pass ordinances, you set policy, you control the budget. That means you control what police departments is allowed to do and what is allowed to keep doing. Power is not given to advance personal agendas. Power is not given for show. Power is given for one reason, and that's to serve the people. And that's in this case of Linton Blackwell, who was shot 17 times in the back. You failed to use that power to serve the people. Under the City of Atlanta Charter, rules governing the police department fall under your authority and the mayor's authority. You control the money. You can say we would not allocate funding until community concerns with the Atlanta Police Department are resolved. You can say we will not give you the money you are asking for until we are satisfied that the resources already given are being used for the purposes our constituents need. That is your power. Use it. Instead, officers like Gerald Walker, Sean Kim, who murdered my son Jimmy Addison, Melvin Potter, are given repeated chances. Grace. The city does not extend to people struggling with addiction, mental illness, or poverty. The Atlanta Police Department reports some of the highest levels of excessive force and police killings than most other departments. 9 out of 10 people killed by Atlanta Police Departments are Black. Walker had already shot. Walker had shot 2 people. He shot the young man back there, but he murdered my cousin, Linton Blackwell, 17 times in the back, and he's still allowed to wear a badge. Why hadn't he been fired? Why hadn't he been held accountable? So this is not about lack of information or power. It's about lack of political will, lack of courage. When you keep funding a system that protect officers with documented patterns of harm, you are not surprised by the outcome. You are responsible for it. My name is Jimmy Hill. I'm the cousin of Linton Blackwell. It's time to step up. It's time to gain some kind of courage, some kind of integrity, dignity, and self-respect, and hold this man accountable.
Thank you, Mr. Hill.
Who murdered
Thank you so
Blackwell.
much. Our next speaker is Devin Franklin. Mr. Franklin, you have 4 minutes. Is Ms. Connect King still here in attendance? Mr. Franklin?
Yes.
Is your yielded speaker still here?
Could you point me to the place in the city code that requires that the person city time remain present? I'm aware of the portion that
It's
states.
section 2-104. Remarks from the public in our code. That should be,
Right,
there should be a copy down there.
I've looked at the code and I reviewed it. It certainly gives the authority for you to place persons who have seated time to speak at the end of the meeting. There's not language that requires the person who.
It is. It's in here. It's in here. They need to be here.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to be here.
Connect.
So are you at 2 minutes now, or is your speaker here?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Thank
You're here, Ms. King. Thanks for coming.
We'll address
You
that
have
another
4
time.
minutes. He has 4 minutes.
My name is Devin Franklin. My time started before I started speaking as well.
Can you pause for a second? Because we are at the beginning of my term, so I do want to make sure that we're all on the same page. It doesn't start when you start speaking. It starts when I tell them what your time is. because that's when you should start.
I'll look at the ordinance. Thank you.
Thanks.
My name is Devin Franklin. I am Senior Movement Policy Counsel at the Southern Center for Human Rights, a nonprofit law firm located here in Atlanta, Georgia. Today, you all are most familiar with the fact that we often speak to matters concerning the Fulton County Jail and incarceration and policing in Atlanta. And while pursuing solutions to end mass incarceration and litigating inhumane conditions in jails and prisons is a significant part of our work, it is not nearly the sum of who we are or what we do. As the Southern Center for Human Rights celebrates its 50-year anniversary this year, it is another part of our mission that I center today, and that is our work to decriminalize race and poverty in America's Deep South. Today, I offer comment that both ponders past inaction of this council that has harmed the city of Atlanta and the opportunity for future advocacy that serves and aids the unhoused and incarcerated populations in the city. During the 2024 legislative session at the General Assembly and amidst the constitutional crisis at the Fulton County Jail, the General Assembly considered and passed SB 63, a law that expanded mandatory cash bail to include many minor offenses and increased the difficulty, if not the outright possibility, of poor people to make bail. In 2024, the prior constitution of this body did not oppose that bill and instead remained tragically silent. And perhaps consequently, the jail lease ordinance between the city of Atlanta and Fulton County failed to satisfy its goal of alleviating the county jail of the overcrowding, because the number of people held pretrial in Fulton County, that population exploded in no small part because of SB 63. I'm here today to ask that you all do not make the same error this year as relates to House Bill 295. A few blocks away at the state capitol, House Bill 295 is being considered, and I am here to urge the City Council through the Office of Legislative Affairs to strongly oppose its passage. HB 295 is a bill that would allow property owners in the city of Atlanta to demand compensation directly from the city whenever they believe the city has not been aggressive enough in prosecuting people for ordinances and laws that criminalize acts like public camping and others associated with homelessness. The bill is fraught with clauses that would complicate the authority of elected prosecutors to decline charges, open the city of Atlanta up to repeated and crippling financial liabilities, and infringe upon First Amendment rights to peacefully assemble, as the language of the bill would encourage greater police enforcement as it relates to encampments that property owners assert negatively impact their property values. Under this bill, if the city denies a claim, the city would also have the burden of proof that its practices are just. Importantly, this bill is a direct attack on Atlanta's Policing Alternatives and Diversion Initiative, commonly referred to as PAD, a nationally recognized and award-winning alternative community response model that has been successfully operating in the city for nearly a decade, offering non-police responses and intervention that directly address the root issues of crime and whose clientele is largely compromised of unhoused people. There are 4 more details and intricacies regarding the problematic nature of that bill that I can discuss today. And to that end, then I can discuss today, I apologize. And to that end, I'm delivering you all physical copies of a memo prepared by our First Amendment legal extern that explains why you all should take action to formally oppose HB 295. As always, we are here to offer our expertise, our labor, our support, and our partnership to you all as we look to protect not only the city of Atlanta, but the many people without physical residences that call Atlanta home and who stand to benefit from the services offered by organizations like PAD. And I remind you all, home is not simply a place where you live. It is a place where they understand you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin. Our next speaker, actually our final speaker, is Jimmy Evans. Mr. Evans, you have 4 minutes. Is Mariah Carter in attendance? Is Mr. Evans here? He's our last speaker. Is Ms. Mariah Carter? Okay. Would you like to speak? Okay, since he's not in attendance though. I'm just taking a quick pause. I would like to accommodate him, but we are ready to move on to communications, Sound on the Journal, the next order of business. Are you sure you wouldn't like to speak? Because I think I'm going to have to move on. Is that him? Okay. All right, Mr. Evans, you have 4 minutes. You have 4 minutes, Mr. Evans.
Hello, how y'all doing? I'm Evans, Jimmy Evans. I'm Lisa Blackwell cousin. Just be frank with y'all today. Well, y'all know what we already know. And like my cousin said, y'all got the power, y'all hold the power. So what's the hold up? I mean, what y'all want to see ignorance in the street? I mean, I'm just being straight up real. Cause I don't know how y'all take it. If it was y'all, like, you know what I'm saying, if it was y'all son, you know what I'm saying, or y'all brother, you know what I mean? I don't know how y'all take it. But really, I'm on some other stuff right now. I'm just being straight up with y'all. I ain't gonna keep sugarcoating that, you know what I'm saying? Cause y'all ain't doing that, you know what I mean? Been like 100-some days, y'all ain't done nothing. The man I'm still paying taxes. My family still working, paying taxes. This man getting paid off my taxes to goddamn murder black people in the street. But soon we goddamn take vengeance, or if I take vengeance, y'all be at me, you know what I mean? Like for real. Saying being straight up. I'm just tired of the bull, man. What's the purpose of y'all? Y'all can't goddamn, y'all ain't gonna do y'all job. Why we keep voting for y'all? You know what I'm saying? What we need to goddamn remove our money from y'all? Cause that's what I'm on the verge of doing. Like getting my people together and goddamn just try to goddamn stop funding y'all, funding the police. Cause they ain't doing us no good. They slaughtering us left and right. Like for real. Like for real, man. I'm straight tired of the bull, man. Y'all gotta do something. Like I said, take matters in my own hand. I'm just being straight up. I'm tired. I'm tired, man. I'm serious, man. I'm for real tired of the bull crap with y'all, man. Like for real. I'm tired, man. That's all I need. Peace.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. And that concludes our public comment portion of full council for today. Again, we really are thankful that you spend time coming down to let us know what is actually on your minds and giving us ideas of how we can help. And I encourage all of you all to reach out directly to council members and my office if there is something that you think that we can do, or also the executive branch, which is headed by our mayor. Reach out to us. With that, we are moving on to the report of the journal. Madam Clerk, Corinne Lindo. I will entertain a motion to,
Thank you, Madam President and members of council. I, Corinne Lindo, Municipal Clerk of the City of Atlanta, do hereby certify that the minutes of the regular meeting held on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026 are true and correct.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion to adopt the report of the journal. Is there moved by? Second. Moved by who was that? Martin. Second by Lewis. Please prepare the vote. Well, we can do this by unanimous consent. Madam Clerk, please sound the count for unanimous consent.
15 yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. The report of the journal is adopted by unanimous consent. Next, we will move on to communications. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Madam President. The first item is 26C 5009. This is a communication from Council members Wayne Martin, District 11, Antonia Lewis, District 12, and Isha Collins, Post 3 at large, appointing Mr. Delvin Davis to serve as a member of the Water and Sewer Appeals Board. This appointment is for a term of 3 years. Staff recommendation to refer to City Utilities Committee and Committee on Council.
Let it follow that course.
Next item is 26C 5010. This is a communication from Municipal Clerk Renee Lindo submitting a report of administrative corrections made to previously adopted legislation between the regular council meeting dates of January 20th, 2026 and February 2nd, 2026 to the Atlanta City Council in accordance with Section 2-275 of the Atlanta City Code of Ordinances, correcting Ordinance 2050-1666. Staff recommendation to accept and file.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept and file this item. So moved by Hillis, second by Bakhtiari. Please prepare the vote.
One moment. The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? The vote's closed. 15 yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. Item 26-C-5010 is accepted and filed. Madam Clerk, are there any vetoed legislation?
There are none.
There are none. What about, Madam Clerk, moving on to unfinished business? Any unfinished business?
We have none.
We have none. So we're moving on to the consent agenda. Section 1, are there any items that have received unanimous votes out of committees? Are there any items that need to be removed from consent agenda 1? Seeing Councilmember Westmoreland.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to remove item on page 10, number 20, item 26O1020 on page 11, number 21, 26O1021, and on page 11, number 22. No, I'm not. I'm moving these post haste. Strike all of that. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday.
So would like to remove them. Okay.
No, she would not like to.
You would not like to remove, you're just moving those post haste. Absolutely. Okay, I will, okay, what about Councilmember Juan? Got it, let's look at our speaker list. Councilmember Amos.
Yes, Madam President, I do need to remove, on page number 6, item 7, 26-O-1053.
26-O-1053.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
All right, Councilmember Juan.
Thank you, Madam President. I have 2 items to pull. One is on page 9, item 15, which is 26O1077. Again, page 9, number 15, 26O1077. And then on page 18, 26R3175. So page 18, 26R3175.
26O1077 and 26R3175. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I will entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda with those items removed. So moved by Hillis, second by Juan. Madam Clerk, please prepare to vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? We may have to do a
voice vote.
Voice vote.
Okay, Madam Clerk, let's do the voice vote.
Councilmember
Winston?
Winston, what is your vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Kelsey Bond?
Aye.
Councilmember Amos?
Aye.
Councilmember Dozier? Councilmember Bakhtiari? Councilmember Juan? Councilmember Worthy?
Aye.
Councilmember Norwood? Councilmember Hillis? Councilmember Boone?
Aye.
Councilmember Martin?
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis?
Aye.
Councilmember Michael Bond? Councilmember Westmoreland?
Aye.
Councilmember Isha Collins?
Aye. 15.
15 yeas, 0 nays. The consent agenda has been adopted. Are there any items sent that need to be sent post haste? Do we mention those now?
I believe there are, Madam President. I think they are 260-1020, 260-1021, and 260-1022. I'll make a motion to move to the mayor's office post haste.
Second.
Motion by Westmoreland, second by Ishay Collins, and
I'd like to add
I
some
would
items.
like to hear from Winston, or Alex Juan, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Motion Maker, if you could add three more to that, on page 19, 26R 3172, 3173, and 3174, all to go go post haste as well, if the mover will accept.
Madam Clerk, did we get those?
Are those, okay. We can repeat those. That we have Mr. Westmoreland, 260-1020, 260-1021, 260-1022. Mr. Juan, 26R 3172, 26R 3173, and 26R 3174.
Okay, and Councilmember Winston.
Yes, I'd like to also piggyback on this and add three items: 26-R 3100, 26-R 3101, and then 26-O-1081.
To also send post haste, we will add 26R-3100, 26R-3101, and 26O-1034. I can't read my writing.
1081.
1081. These are all to be moved post haste. First was motion by Westmoreland, second by Tillis. Who was the second? Collins. Please prepare the vote.
One moment. The vote is open. We're having some technical issues, but the vote should be open.
Is the vote open on your screen?
Mr. Bond, what is your vote? Fifteen yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. All of those items will be sent to the mayor's office post haste. Moving on to consent agenda, section 2. Are there any items to remove from consent agenda section 2? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to refer all items from consent agenda section 2. So moved by Juan, second by Bakhtiari. Madam Clerk, please prepare the vote.
One moment. The vote is open. Yay. Will everyone please vote? Mr. Bond, what is your vote? The vote is closed. 15 yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. Consent agenda section 2 items are referred back to committees. So we are moving on to our standing committees. First up, we'll have Committee on Council, Councilmember Byron Amos.
Good afternoon, Madam Council President. We have 2 items to report. If there's no objection, I'd like to take both of them together.
Please do.
They're communications 26-C-5005, a communication from Councilmember Byron D. Amos, District 3, appointing Ms. Latanya Gates to serve as a member of the Atlanta Commission on Women. This appointment is for a term of 2 years. The next one is 26-C-5006, A communication from Mayor Andre Dickens appointing Ms. Marquetta Bryant Esquire to serve as the city attorney for the city of Atlanta. Both of these come out of committee and their respective committees favorable. Recommendation is for approval.
The motion to adopt 26-C-5005 and 26-C-5006 is coming out of committee and does not need a second. Madam Clerk, please prepare to vote.
One moment. The vote is open. The vote is closed. 15 yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. These items are adopted.
Thank you, Madam President. Here's my report.
Okay, I want to give a special shout out to our new city attorney, Marquetta Bryant Esquire. Congratulations. Moving on to our next committee, Chairman Mary Norwood.
Thank you, Madam President. The zoning committee has three ordinances for second read that I would like to take as a block.
Please do.
26-0-1003, U-2532, 2345 Donnelly Hollowell Parkway. The ordinance is for a special use permit for a community center. The next one is 26-0-1051, U-2514, 2694 Fairlane Drive. The ordinance is for a special use permit for a personal care home. The third one is 26-0-1058, U-2534, 420 Chapel Street, Southwest. This ordinance is for a special use permit for an outdoor sales area. Colleagues, the recommendation of the committee is to file, and I make that motion.
The recommendation of the committee is to file. It doesn't need a second. Please prepare the vote for those items.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 15 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you.
15 yeas, 0 nays. Those items are filed.
The next item is to come before us is 26-0-1040, Z2538, 1911 and 1917 LaDon Lane, and 1920 Ann Street Northwest. The ordinance is to rezone from R4, single-family residential, to MR3, multifamily residential. This item needs to be amended to change the caption for the actual change in use, as well as to add an additional address. All of you have in your inboxes copies of this legislation. It also includes a new site plan. So I make a recommendation to amend 26-0-1040 with this amendment.
Second.
Motion to amend by Norwood, second by Ishay Collins. Please prepare the vote. Any discussion first? Please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? Fourteen yeas, 1 abstention.
14 yeas, 1 abstention. This item is amended. In full council, you have to speak as to why you're abstaining.
Can I, City Attorney, can I wait until the entire item is dealt with, or do I need to explain the extension as well?
Good afternoon, Amber A. Robinson, City of Atlanta Department of Law. I do believe it is appropriate for, prior to the vote, to explain the abstention prior to, for the record.
Thank you. I need to abstain on this item after a recent review of the rezoning application. It was learned that one parcel involved in that rezoning is owned by a former business partner of my wife, who although they're former business partners, they do still have some pending financial matters that are unrelated to this rezoning. And although neither my wife nor I will benefit personally or financially from this proposed land sale, to avoid even the appearance of a conflict, I've been advised to abstain under applicable City of Atlanta Code and Ethics Code. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now the item is before us. We need to take the vote to amend.
Yeah, to amend. We did the
Oh,
call?
sorry. Okay.
Yeah, and, okay,
So we now have the
item is amended.
Amended item, and do I have a motion on the item as amended?
So moved.
So moved by Martin. Is there a second? Second by Bakhtiari. Please prepare the vote. If there's no discussion.
The vote is open.
Mm-hmm.
13 yeas, 1 abstention, and 1 nay.
13 yeas, 1 abstention, 1 nay. This item has passed as amended.
The next item has been taken off of consent. That item is 26-0-1053, U2525, an amended ordinance by zoning committee for a special use permit for an outdoor amusement enterprise pursuant to the sections listed for property located at 485 Foundry Street, 489 Foundry Street, 491 Foundry Street, 495 Foundry Street, 501 Foundry Street, and 505 Foundry Street, and 174 Northside Drive, 182 Northside Drive, 184 Northside Drive, 190 Northside Drive, and 192 Northside Drive, and 480 Spencer Street, 486 Spencer Street, 490 Spencer Street, 496 Spencer Street, 502 Spencer Street, and 506 Spencer Street, and 185 Electric Avenue. With the plats so listed, and it is 1.86 acres in Fulton County, and this item was removed by the councilman of the district, Mr. Amos.
Yes, Madam President. After a brief conversation with our ethics czar, I have a direct family member that is seasonally employed at this location. So out of an abundance of caution and the appearance of any type of conflict of interest, I'll be abstaining from this vote.
Okay.
So I make a motion to approve this item.
Motion to approve, and since it, well,
And
now
it has
needs a
come out of
second.
committees with the motion to approve, so we don't need a second.
We do not need a second. Okay, so please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? Fourteen yeas, 1 abstention.
14 yeas, 1 abstention. Item number 26-0-1053 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam President, and Madam Chair. And that completes my report.
Thank you. Okay, we are moving on to Public Safety, Legal Administration, the Honorable Andrea Boone.
Thank you, Madam President. We have 2 items on the report.
Both items were pulled from the consent agenda. Item number 1, 26-0-1077. Item 15, page 9, an ordinance by council members Andrea Boone and Michael Julian Bond to amend Chapter 10, Article 2, Sections 10-92 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances so as to provide an exemption from the distance requirements listed in Section 10-8.1 for package stores licensed to sell malt beverages and/or wine for an establishment located at 2312 Benjamin E. Mays Drive, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, and for other purposes. Motion to approve.
There's a motion to adopt 26-0-1077. No second is required because it's coming out of committee. Madam Clerk, please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? The vote's closed. 13 yeas, 1 nay.
13 yeas, 1 nay. The item passed.
Item number 2, 26-R-3175, item 7, page 18, a resolution by Councilmember Liliana Batiera to request that the mayor and the Atlanta City Council impose a 180-day moratorium on the acceptance of any new alcohol license applications in the Edgewood corridor and for other purposes. We have one speaker, Councilmember Alex Wan.
Alex Wan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President, Madam Chair. Colleagues, I pulled this off of consent, and I've been in conversation with the author of this over the last couple of weeks. First off, I do want to commend and thank the Edgewood Corridor Public Safety Task Force for their work and their findings. I know that this was a recommendation that came out of that work. Similarly, the Alcohol Technical Advisory Group that I worked on and Councilmember Bond worked on previously as well, one of the big takeaways from that is that the city actually has many different tools and arrows in our quiver that we can use to implement certain guardrails, certain initiatives. And in this particular instance, I do believe that there is a better tool that we should use to kind of meet the request of the task force that will fall as a zoning initiative versus burdening Atlanta Public Police Department and license and permits that would have a similar output and outcome. So with that, I've been in conversation with the author of this paper. I think we would like to continue exploring that so as we can to best meet the needs of the community. In this instance, I'm going to make a substitute motion to refer this back to committee to give us time to work on that, understanding the urgency of this, but again, wanting to use our legislative power to effectuate something that will provide meaningful and sustainable relief for the community. So I'll make that motion to refer.
Oh, so there's a motion to, for a what did you want to do? Refer it back?
Refer it back.
Refer it back. Is there a second?
Second, I'm going to speak to
Second, and
one.
then, okay.
Yes.
Second by Bakhtiari. Please prepare the vote. Or let's discuss first.
Yes, so really quickly, because I put this paper forth and to give some background. This came out of a 6-month task force as a result of a mass shooting that happened in Edgewood this past summer. I worked with the community. We put together a very strong task force that met for 6 months with the administration at the table, yielded some really positive results. This was part of a legislative package that I put forward to tackle or to put forth the issues that were founded by the community, by the task force. Put this forward with the intention of trying to triage before welcoming any more chaos into the corridor. After speaking to my colleagues, they believe that there is a way to do this that gives it more teeth, hence the reason of sending it back. My community really wants this, and while I would love to see it passed today, in the hopes of continuing working together, we believe that this could be a very strong model for other corridors in the city. So not just to be something we say, but something that can actually be upheld through action and this giving this teeth. And I've communicated to Councilmember Wan, though, if we do not have a path forward on this paper by the end of the month, and it's edited form, I will be reintroducing this paper again in its form today.
Oh, okay.
But as of today, I will second his motion.
So you yield, you're done? That's it? Okay.
I yield, I'm done. Thank you.
So there is a motion to send the paper 26-R-3175 back to committee, second by Juan, seconded by Liliana Bakhtiari. Please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? One moment. Ms. Boone, what is your vote?
Aye.
14 yeas, 0 nays.
14 yeas, 0 nays. This item will be sent back to committee.
This concludes my report, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Boone. Moving on to City Utilities, Councilmember Chair Hillis.
Good afternoon. We have one item, 26-0-10-11, item 1 on page 44, ordinance by City Utilities Committee waiving Part 2, Chapter 2, Article 10, Division 4 of the Atlanta City Code, as well as any other conflicting code provisions to authorize the mayor, his designee, to execute the First Amendment to the agreements listed. For stormwater improvements contract with Southeastern Site Development, Inc. and Precision 2000, Inc., joint venture, and Integral Municipal Services Corporation, Rockdale Pipeline, Inc., joint venture, respectively, on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management, to add funding in a combined amount not to exceed $7,500,000.00. All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account numbers listed herein, and for other purposes. The motion out of committee is to adopt.
The motion is to adopt 26-0-1011. No second is needed. Madam Clerk, please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? The vote is closed. 13 yeas, 0 nays.
13 yeas, 0 nays. The item is adopted.
Thank you, Madam President and colleagues. That completes the report of the City Utilities Committee.
Thank you, Chair Hillis. Moving on to our next committee, CDHS, Community Development Human Services Committee. Chair Matt Westmoreland.
Thank you, Madam President. We have two items. The first is 26-0-1019, an ordinance by Community Development Human Services Committee to amend the land use element of the 2025 Atlanta Comprehensive Development Plan so as to redesignate property located at 1669 Stanton Road Southwest. Okay, we'll do this one first. 26-0-1015, substitute ordinance by Community Development Human Services Committee to amend the Atlanta City Code Part 2, Chapter 158, Article 2, to correct errors, to provide clarification, and for other purposes. It's coming favorable on substitute, 5 yeas, 1 abstention.
The motion is to adopt 26-0-1015, so no second is needed. Coming out of committee, Madam Clerk, please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. Thirteen yeas, 0 nays.
13 yeas, 0 nays. This item is adopted.
Next up, 26-0-1019, an ordinance by CDHS to amend the land use element of the 2025 CDP so as to redesignate property at 1669 Stanton Road Southwest from the MLSF Development Pattern Designation to LDR Development Pattern Designation for other purposes. The motion is to file.
The motion is to file 26-0-1019. No second is needed. Coming out of committee, Madam Clerk, please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 13 yeas, 0 nays.
13 yeas, 0 nays. This item is filed.
That concludes our report.
Thank you, Chair Westmoreland. Moving on to transportation, the Honorable Alex Wan.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, if you will turn to page 49, there's one item to address. It's 26R3109, a resolution by Councilmember Liliana Bakhtiari requesting the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on East Lake Drive between West Farr Road and Memorial Drive Southeast in order to reduce speeding and for other purposes. Motion from the committee is to file.
The motion is to file 26-R-3109, coming out of committee, so no second is needed. Madam Clerk, please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 13 yeas, 0 nays.
13 yeas, 0 nays. This item is filed.
Thank you, Madam President. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chair Wan. We're moving on to the Finance Executive Committee. Chair Winston.
Thank you. We have one item, 26C5007, a communication from Donald T. Bonovi, CPA Chair, Audit Committee, submitting the Performance Audit Report, Cybersecurity. This came out of committee. We accepted and filed, so I'll make a motion to accept and file.
The motion is to accept and file 26-C-5007. Is that what you said? Coming out of committee, it doesn't need a second, so Madam Clerk, please prepare the vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? Councilmember Westmoreland, what is your vote?
Aye.
The vote is closed. 15 yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. This item is accepted and filed.
Thank you. And colleagues, I do have two additional items that I would like to send post haste that were on the consent agenda. They are 26-01078 and 26R-3103. So I'd like to make the motion. Repeat those. I'll repeat those. They are 26-0-1078 and 26-R-3103.
There's been a motion made to to send two items post haste, 26-0-1078 and 26R-3103. Motion by Winston. Is there a second? Second by Worthy. Please prepare the vote to send post haste. This can be done by unanimous consent. Madam Clerk, please sound the count for unanimous consent.
15 yeas, 0 nays.
I think it might be 14.
14 yeas, 0 nays.
14 yeas, 0 nays. These items can be sent post haste.
Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. In that case, we are now to personal papers already? Huh, wow. All right, who is first?
I think Michael has one for immediate.
Oh, we have an immediate paper? Councilmember Michael Bond, we have an immediate paper. You are first. And as of today, yes, you're reading the entire thing like you like to. You're reading the whole thing like you want to. How are you? Good. Does everyone have a copy of the immediate consideration while we listen? Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam President, Mr. Bond has asked me to read his paper.
Okay.
This is ELMS number 39686. This is a resolution by Councilmember Michael Julian Bond to amend 21R 4219 to correct the street directional designation of Lakewood Avenue from southeast to northeast and for other purposes. Whereas Resolution 25R 4219 was adopted by the Atlanta City Council on December 1st, 2025, and approved per City Charter Section 2-403 on December 10th, 2025, to designate 30% of available on-street parking spaces along Lakewood Avenue Southeast as residential parking only. And whereas the legislation inadvertently had the incorrect street directional as southeast for Lakewood Avenue when it is intended to be northeast. And whereas it is the desire of the Atlanta City Council to amend Resolution 25R 4219 to correct the street directional designation of Lakewood Avenue Southeast to Lakewood Avenue Northeast. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Atlanta, Georgia, that resolution number 25R 4219 shall be amended to correct the street directional designation of Lakewood Avenue Southeast to Lakewood Avenue Northeast. Be finally resolved that all other parts of resolution 25R 4219 shall remain unchanged.
Colleagues, we have before us item ELMS ID 39686 for immediate consideration. Motion by Michael Bond, second by Bakhtiari. Please prepare the vote.
The vote is open.
Uh-oh. Well, you could.
Will everyone please vote?
I love it.
The vote is closed. 14 yeas, 0 nays.
14 yeas, 0 nays. This item has passed.
Next item for Mr. Bond is ELMS number 39687. This is an ordinance by Councilmember Michael Julian Bond authorizing the Atlanta Department of Transportation to designate a portion of on-street parking spaces on Lakewood Avenue Northeast for residential use only and implement signage and enforcement mechanisms and for other purposes.
ELMS ID number 39687 should be referred to transportation. Thank you, Councilmember Bond.
Thank you.
Next up, are you next? Councilmember Bakhtiari.
Only one paper today. ELMS ID 39553, an ordinance by Councilmember Liliana Bakhtiari and Ishay Collins authorizing a donation in an amount not to exceed $100,000 to Safe House Outreach pursuant to Section 6-306 of the City of Atlanta's Charter to support street outreach, supportive services, and rehousing for individuals experiencing homelessness and extreme poverty, authorizing the mayor, his designee, to enter into any necessary agreements to effectuate the donation, authorizing the chief financial officer or his designee to make the donation authorized hereby from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes.
ELMS ID 39553 should be referred to Finance Exec.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Hillis.
Thank you, Madam President. I have two items. First is ELMS ID 39660, a resolution by Councilmember Dustin Hillis authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute cooperative agreement for solid waste route management system route optimization utilizing Houston Galveston Area Council. Cooperative agreement number listed with Routewire Inc. on behalf of the Department of Public Works for a term of 1 year with 0 renewal options.
ELMS ID
39660, and an amount not to exceed $787,213.00. All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the fund department organization account number listed herein and for other purposes.
Elms ID 39660 should be referred to City Utilities.
Elms ID 39606, an ordinance by council members Dustin Hillis, Ishay Collins, Michael Julian Bond, and Matt Westmoreland to ratify the July 10, 2024 execution of an intergovernmental agreement between Atlanta Housing and the City of Atlanta effective May 23, 2024, and which shall expire on September 30, 2032 for the Choice Neighborhood Implementation Plan, for the Bowen Choice Neighborhood Transformation Plan, to ratify the Chief Financial Officer's payment of funds in the amount of $2,000,000 from the city's beloved Community Housing Trust Fund in November of 2024 pursuant to the IGA, to authorize the Chief Financial Officer to make payment of funds in annual installments through the remaining term of the IGA through September 30, 2032, the total amount which shall not exceed $8,000,000 from the Housing Trust Fund in accordance with the terms of the local match commitments contained in the IGA and for other purposes.
Elms ID 39606 should be referred to CDHS.
That completes my
Thank
items.
you. Next, we have the Honorable Boone.
Thank you,
Councilmember Boone.
Madam President. Elms ID number 39607, a resolution by Councilmember Andrea Boone authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute special procurement agreement SPPS MOVR 2511 Safe Passage Program and Rapid Response Initiative with the Fender Alumni Association, Inc. on behalf of the Mayor's Office of Violence Prevention pursuant to Section 2-1191 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances for a term upon execution of the agreement herein and ending on June 30th in an amount not to exceed $138,420.00. All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. Elms ID number 39607.
39607 should be referred to FEC.
An ordinance, Elms ID number 39662, an ordinance by Councilmember Andrea L. Boone authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to enter into an amended intergovernmental agreement with the Atlanta Urban Development Corporation, AUDC, governing the development of an interim fire station 15 on city-owned property at 1531 Piedmont Road Northeast as part of AUDC's broader mission to develop affordable housing on public-owned land, to authorize the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to execute all documents necessary to effectuate the purpose of this ordinance, including but not limited to any amendment to the Intergovernmental Housing Corporation Agreement dated December 2023 or any such successor IGA if needed and for other purposes.
Elms ID number 39662 should be referred to Public Safety Legal Administration.
An ordinance by Councilmember Andrea L. Boone an ordinance to amend ordinance number 25-0-1305 to include anticipations and appropriations fund information authorizing the Office of the Public Defender on behalf of the City of Atlanta to accept a grant in the amount of $156,250 over the period of 2 years from Immigrant Justice Corps for the placement of a fellow to assist the Office of the Public Defender in providing immigration, deportation defense, and advisory or counsel.
39684 should be referred to PSLA.
Elms ID number 39685, an ordinance by Councilmember Andrea L. Boone authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into special procurement agreement number SPPS 2511 1260070, Attorney Digital Evidence Management System, Axon Justice, Axon Enterprises, Inc., on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender pursuant to Section 2-1191 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances for a term of 8 years and the amount not to exceed $405,405.50. All costs shall be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account listed herein and for other purposes.
Elms ID 39685 should be referred to FEC.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilmember Worthy.
Good afternoon, Madam President. Elms ID 39678, a resolution by council members Mary Norwood and Thomas Worthy authorizing the mayor or his designee to designate Chastain Memorial Parkway Northwest between Dudley Lane Northwest and Stella Drive Northwest as honorary Cooley Conlin Drive Northwest, to authorize the City of Atlanta's Department of Transportation to install honorary street signs where Chastain Memorial Parkway Northwest signage is installed, and for other purposes.
Elms ID 39678 should be referred to transportation. Councilmember Collins.
Great, thank you. Elms ID number 39690, an ordinance by council members Ishay Collins, Matt Westmoreland, Thomas Worthy, and Wayne Martin to waive Part 3 Land Development Code, Part 16 Zoning, Chapter 28A, Sign Ordinance, Section 16-28A-001, and pertaining sections of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances to authorize erection of one business sign and its supporting structures at 3393 Peachtree Road Northeast and for other purposes.
39690 should be referred to zoning. Councilmember Dozier.
Thank you, Madam President. My first item is Elms number 39683, an ordinance by Councilmember Jason Dozier, Councilmember Andrea Boone, Councilmember Ishay Collins, Councilmember Michael Julian Bond, Councilmember Matt Westmoreland, to rename Fulton Street Southwest from Whitehall Terrace Southwest to Capitol Avenue Southwest to J. Lyle Ware Boulevard, to waive certain provisions of Section 138-A of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances and for other purposes.
39683 should be referred to transportation.
And my other item is Elms number 39689, a ordinance by Councilmember Jason Dozier, Winston, Kelsey Bond, Amos, Bakhtiari, Juan Worthy, Hillis, Boone, Lewis, who else is over there? Martin, thank you. Michael Julian Bond, Westmoreland, and Collins, to amend Part 3 Code of Ordinances, Land Development Code, Part 16, Zoning, Chapter 36, Beltline Overlay and District Regulations, Section 16-36.008, permitted and prohibited uses and structures to prohibit warehousing, self-storage facilities, and distribution centers within the Beltline Overlay District and for other purposes.
39689 should be referred to zoning.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Winston.
Thank you. My first is Elms ID 39661, an ordinance by Councilmember Winston authorizing the Chief Financial Officer as a municipal revenue collector to extinguish taxes, assessments, service fees, and charges pursuant to the section number listed of the City of Atlanta Code and fees pursuant to the section number listed of the Atlanta City Charter, city fees, and are not to exceed a number that will be listed later for those properties owned or partially owned by the Fulton County City of Atlanta Land Bank Authority, Inc., as set out in Exhibit A, to authorize the Chief Financial Officer or his designee to take necessary actions to release any liens related to those city fees and notify the County Tax Commissioner of the same, to authorize the Chief Financial Officer to amend the FY 2026 budget and or undertake any operating transfers to account for the extinguishment of the city fees and for other purposes.
39661 should be referred to Finance Exec.
Elms ID 39680, a resolution by Councilmember Winston authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to refund customers for overpayments to water and sewer accounts in the amount of the number listed and cents in all funds to be charged to and paid from the fund department, organization, and account number listed herein and for other purposes.
39680 should be referred to Finance Exec.
And lastly, Elms ID 39681, a resolution by Councilmember Winston authorizing the Commissioner of the Department of Watershed Management to adjust water and sewer services charges of certain customer accounts in accordance with the Atlanta City Code section number listed in the amount of the numbers that will come later and for other purposes.
39681 should be referred to Finance Exec.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Westmoreland.
Thank you, Madam President. Elms 39682 by Westmoreland, authorizing the waiver of provisions contained in Chapter 74, Article 6, Section 74-205.5A2 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances for the property listed herein and for other purposes.
39682 should be referred to City Utilities. That's everybody? That's all that's on my list. With that being said, We are to general remarks from our council members. Colleagues, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us before you go? None? Councilmember Bond.
Thank you, Madam President. Just wanted to remind the general public that this is the 100th anniversary of Negro History Week, which later became Black History Month. So I encourage everyone within the sound of my voice to familiarize yourself with the history of this portion of the population and remember that African American history is American history.
Thank you, Councilmember Bond, for reminding us where we are right now in February. Thank you very much. And with any other colleagues? No other remarks. So I guess it's time for our roll call. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Madam President. We have Council President Marcy Color Overstreet.
Present.
Councilmember Michael Julian Bond, Post 1 at Large. Councilmember Matt Westmoreland, Post 2 at Large. Councilmember Ishay Collins, Post 3 at Large. Councilmember Jason H. Winston, District 1. Councilmember Kelsey Bond, District 2. Councilmember Byron D. Amos, District 3. Councilmember Jason Derzer, District 4. Councilmember Liliana Bakhtiari, District 5. Councilmember Alex Wan, District 6. Councilmember Thomas Worthy, District 7. Councilmember Mary Norwood, District 8. Councilmember Dustin Hillis, District 9. Councilmember Andrea L. Boone, District 10. Councilmember Wayne Martin, District 11.
Still present.
Councilmember Antonio Lewis, District 12.
Let's go, let's get it.
Yes. We are adjourned.
I'm looking at the clock.